Wow, hello. Hey, why do I want to do this? Hello. Happy Sunday. This video is going to be an Auntie haul. I got an email from Ulta and it was about all the hot buys and a bunch of things that are on sale, and I thought I would go through them with you guys and see whether or not they are worth it or not. I'm hoping I don't buy anything from this. I feel like I often get into the rut of it's on sale, I should buy it. And together we are not going to shop, we're just going to look at the deals and talk ourselves out of it, because I'm sure I don't need anything. I have plenty of makeup for myself, and if you are into some of these products and it's a good deal for you, absolutely go get it. It's totally, it's your budget. It's something that you would use, then absolutely I 100% stand by you, get what you want. But for those who are trying to save money or are always the person who buys things because they're on sale and not necessarily thinking before you buy it, this video is for you. So we will go through this email together. I do have my laptop here. I'm going to be wearing my glasses because I am blind as a bat. In case you don't know, I usually wear glasses except for when I'm filming. So I always film not being able to see anything. So if I'm ever out of focus, it's because I'm out of focus. I can't see anything. So I am going to put on my glasses and then I'll put on a screen what I'm seeing so you can shop with me or not shop with me. So I just pulled up my email and I just started recording my screen so you can see what I'm seeing and what it says at the top. So if you're looking for it, it is hot buy moments. So it was in my promotion section if you have Gmail. So I am just hitting shop now so we can just see everything together, and we are going to Auntie haul together, and I'm going to try to talk myself out of products. First off, we have the Urban Decay primer potions. They're only $12. I think this is a really good eyeshadow primer, but if you already have eyeshadow primers in your collection, most of us only need one or two and they take a long time to go through. Your eye's a very small area. You don't need to buy this. If you're someone who doesn't have eyeshadow primer, you've always wanted to try it, the Urban Decay is a really good one to start with. I personally enjoy the anti-aging one most. I feel like it does do a great job at kind of blurring fine lines and wrinkles as well as priming your eyes. So I feel like it's almost like a 2-in-1. So, this is a really good eyeshadow primer if you don't have any. If you already have one in your collection or two in your collection, you don't need another, even though it sounds like a good idea because it's on sale, but it is a cream product, so if you open it once and then you're trying to finish other things up, probably it's going to be expired by the time you even get to it. So I would say you don't need to get it. I feel like it goes on sale every once in a while, so you can probably get it in the future if you really want to try it. Next we have this Sun Afterglow Highlighter Palette. It does have 4.5 stars, but it only has 12 reviews. If I remember correctly, I don't like this highlighting formula of Urban Decay. I feel like it's very shimmery. It's one that does not melt in the skin. It's not one that's just like a pearlized finish. It's something that you look like you have shimmer on your face. So I don't enjoy their formula. And I also, in general, highlight palettes are just not for me. I know the Anastasia, their glow kits are fantastic, but most likely you have one or two shades in the palettes that you're not going to use, and I feel like the same would go for here. It is half off, it's only $19.50, but if the two pink colors don't work for you, or one of the dark shades doesn't work for you, it's not going to be worth it. So I just say you don't need a highlighting palette. I feel like there are better brands out there, and I know it's only 20 bucks, but I'd rather you take that 20 bucks and put it towards an Anastasia glow kit or a Becca highlight, because you get way more use out of them. Next we have this Tarte little palette. It's only $12 and it looks super boring, and even as someone who likes to travel, I would not bring this in travel because it just wouldn't be enough. It doesn't really have a dark enough color for a dark shade. And I just feel like it's kind of nothing exciting. I'm sure you already have these colors in your collection, you do not need it. I do like the Tarte formula of their eyeshadows. I feel like they're very soft. And if you have no eyeshadow palettes whatsoever or any eyeshadow, then it's only 12 bucks, but I'm sure you already have colors like this in your collection. You don't need it. So moving on to this one. This one from Lorac is just nothing exciting. I already know I have all those colors. The only color that actually speaks to me is the purple, but I know I have purple in my collection. I don't need purple in multiple palettes. So for me, it's just a pass, and I'm sure you have colors like this already as well. And it's still 30 bucks. So it's not like it's super cheap. It's still 30 bucks that you'd be spending on an eyeshadow palette you probably already have colors of. Next we have this brush set from IT Cosmetics. It's a travel set, which sounds like a good idea, but when you look at it, you don't have a full face of eyeshadow brushes. You don't have a foundation brush. You only have one like fluffy face brush, so you can use it for blush, but I mean, you don't have anything for highlight or anything. So you're missing brushes, so for it to be a convenient travel set, I don't think so. And then you have 4 eyeshadow brushes. It looks super short. And I don't know about you, but I hate using super short brushes, especially if I'm using it for my everyday collection, because they're gonna fall down through this and I'm never gonna use it. Like I have this brush down here. I never use it because it's super short and it gets lost in my collection. So I just don't feel like you need this for $18. I would just say get a couple of nice brushes, or get, like, you could get 5 e.l.f. brushes and they're fantastic. So I don't think you just need it just to have the IT brand. I also feel like brushes and sets are just not as good as their normal line, especially for like IT Cosmetics. Doesn't seem like it'd be putting a lot of quality into their travel little sets versus their high-end like super deluxe brushes. Does that make sense? Next we have this one from Clinique. It's just gimmicky. I mean, cruelty-free status aside, it just looks gimmicky. You don't need it. You're never going to use it. It has 3.5 stars. You don't need it. I have never heard of this brand, the Kenra Professionals for hair, so I'm just going to skip over that. If you need hair products, they are a little bit on sale, but I feel like you can always find deals at Ulta for hair products. So, and it looks like a couple of them. Do you see this? It only has like 2 stars. So I don't have high hopes for that brand. And I'm just not a hair person. If you're a hair person and you go through hairspray, you do you, because it is $12.99, but again, I feel like Ulta always has hair products on sale. Next, we have this whole line from Smashbox. We are going to anti-haul this together because the majority of us are not like Instagram makeup artists, and we don't need this crazy metallic lip color. We don't need this crazy metallic highlight. You don't need this crazy metallic primer. Like, we aren't those people. And you don't need these items, and they're still pricey. I mean, you're still spending $30 for a primer, $30 for a spray, and most of us don't need an all-over glow every single day, especially this intense. Like, it's a rose gold, which for me, rose gold does not work. Like, anything pink on my cheeks for like highlight just doesn't look right. So we don't need it. You don't need it. You're never going to use a full size. You're just going to be spending money on a trend. So there's that. This one here, I am interested in buying, but I'm not going to because I already have lip oils in my collection that I'm not using, but I really want to try it, but I'm not going to. So this is me anti-hauling it for me. It is the lip oil from Butter London. I just want to try more from this brand, which is why I'm interested, and I do like lip oils, and this one does look like it has like a sponge tip applicator, and I do have 2 lip oils already in my collection. I'm not gonna buy it even though it's $13. It's half off, but I don't need it. I already have things I need to use. So if you are someone like me who you already have a couple lip products in your collection you need to use up, you don't need them. Next we have this. Okay, I have this Butter London, the Sheer Serum Shadow, this guy here. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. It is one that kind of smooths out fine lines and wrinkles, but also gives you a little bit of pigment. It's kind of like a primer, but it's very thin. It feels like a slippy, it just feels really nice, and it dries down to like a really satiny type feel. It's really beautiful. I don't need other shades, but I do recommend it. So it is $14.40. It was normally $24. I do really like it, but they all are like, even this one says Rose Petal. The Rose Petal is pretty much like a nude. They're all nude, so all just to like cancel out your eye color. So I'm like, if you already have an eyeshadow primer that does that, you don't need it. But if you want something like an eyeshadow primer that just kind of like covers up any discoloration and kind of smooths out your eye without giving you a tacky finish, I do like them. So they are $14.40, and looks like you get a free gift of some sort if you buy some product, I guess. Next we have Makeup Revolution. And they are always on sale. So I feel like if you are iffy about Makeup Revolution, you can probably wait, and I'm sure they'll be on sale in the future. These giant palettes are only $9. Now, I don't know about you, but these giant palettes just don't speak to me, because if you look at them, like look at this one. Unless you are a makeup artist, you don't need this many shades of cream, this many transition colors, this many shades of the same brown. You know, it just seems very repetitive. You don't need a giant ass palette like this. And I don't know about you, but I don't use these big palettes. They get like lost in my drawer because they're too bulky to like keep on top, but they're too big to like keep in the front of my drawer. So I just think it'd be a $9 wasted for myself. If you don't have any eyeshadow palettes, or if you are a makeup artist, you want to have that big variety, one of these could work for you, but for me, it's just too same for all the colors. I don't need it to be that very minimal of a difference per shadow for it to work for me. I'd rather much have like a 12 pan palette than a, how many, 32 eyeshadow palette. Especially like, okay, so I have the Jaclyn Hill palette. I definitely don't need these ones, but it's so bulky, it's so big. Even though it's thin, it is buried because it just doesn't fit in my collection anywhere else. Alright, let's keep going down. We have stuff from Pure. I haven't tried much from them, but I heard it's a very like hit or miss brand, and it looks like it has a primer, a couple primers. And I'm sure you already have primers in your collection you need to use up, so I would say you don't need it. And I just can't recommend it because I've never really tried anything from the brand. Cover FX. Okay, another thing about highlighting palettes. You have 3 beautiful looking highlights, but I know most of us have one shade that's not going to work quite right. For me, I know that rose gold is not going to work, so I'm spending $20 for 2 highlights that I could possibly use. But I know myself and I'd probably only use one of them, and most likely I don't normally reach again for my highlight palette. So I just feel like a lot of people don't need all 3. They are beautiful, and again, if you are a makeup artist, this would be a really good option for $20. I do like their formula. It does have 4.5 stars, so it's only $20. If you can see yourself using all 3, sure, but if you already have a couple highlights that you love, I would just say work on those highlights. You don't need a new palette. Moving on down, the one thing that I am interested in buying is Real Techniques brushes, because they are, it looks like 25% off or so, and I did just, it was a sad day. It was a very sad day. This brush I've had for almost 6 years now. Yes, I could glue it. I don't have glue. I know that sounds silly, but when we moved, I didn't bring glue. And I'd be spending just as much for glue as it would be for a new brush. And this, again, is like 6 years old. It's definitely is my most well-loved brush. So I feel like since this one is dead, I feel like I almost have like permission to get a new brush. I don't need a new brush, but I do like Real Techniques brushes. And they don't have little bits that can break apart like this. So I'm not going to right now because I feel like it's, again, another brand that is always on sale. I do like their brushes though, and if you are someone who's into brushes and maybe you don't have a ton, they usually have sales all the time, so you probably don't need them this time. And then they do have their sponges. Their sponges are okay. I think I've gone away from beauty blenders and such. I'd rather much just use my hands. I feel like it does a better job. And plus you don't have to replace them. You don't replace your hands. So there's that too. Let's keep going down. Origins. Let's see. Nature's Anti-Aging. $65, and you have like a whole little regimen, and it looks like a candle. That's interesting. Origins is a brand that is okay. It's just an okay brand to me. There's nothing magical at Origins, especially when I like worked at Sephora and learned about them, that really screams to me. If you're looking for an all-natural brand, Origins really isn't. It looks like it because it's all like green packaging, but it's really full of fillers. But they do have some really good products. I really haven't tried their anti-aging line. Their the Planscription line. I'm sure you have other moisturizers you need to use up before getting this. And the candle to me kind of almost feels like a gimmick. It's like you're getting the set so you can get a candle. I don't need an Origins smelling candle, so there's that. Let's move on to the next page. I feel like I've been talking for ages. We have, what's this? Tarte. Oh, this is Ulta eyeliner. $4, and they have a ton of shades. it's very tempting, but I always feel like unless you're a makeup artist or someone who really likes to wear colorful stuff, colorful eyeliner seems like a good idea. But in general, most of us use black or brown, so maybe if they have their black or brown on sale for $4, I mean, I've never used them. It's a possibility, and I don't know. I already have eyeliners in my collection. I don't need anything else. And again, colorful eyeliner seems like a good idea, but after the 1 or 2 times you use it, you really don't have the urge to pick it up anymore. At least that's how I am. I never tried Lipstick Queen, so I'm going to skip over them. And I am not going to be promoting MAC at all because they are not cruelty-free, so I'm just going to skip over them. Number 7, I have only tried their foundation. Looks like they have 2 separate skincare systems, and they are almost $50 for number 7 skincare system. It doesn't really speak to me. It really doesn't, and I'm sure you already have products in your collection, and you're still spending $50. Like, that's a lot for a set. And I feel like number 7 in my head is like drugstore pricing. So for me, I feel like it's still a little steep for that. I don't know. Have you tried any number 7 skincare? And if it's good, let me know down in the comments because I am curious. I don't think I'm going to buy that set at all. This set here from First Aid Beauty, it's only $12 and you get both of their creams. Now, it seems like a good idea, but most likely only one or the other would work for you. The deep hydration one is really good if you have super dry skin, and the Ultra Repair, it seems like it'd be really, really hydrating, but it's really more for normal type skin, normal to somewhat dry, and then the other one's really for really dry. So it's only $12 to try both. And if you are someone maybe who likes to travel, if you have been wanting to try both, I mean, it's only $12. It is a really good formula for sensitive skin. So I do recommend this product if you don't have moisturizers already in your collection. I'm not going to get it because I've already tried it before. I like other things a little bit more just for my skin type, but it is good for those who have sensitive red skin. I will say that. Philosophy, I don't think is cruelty-free. We're skipping over that. Botanics. I really like Botanics so far of the things that I've tried. They are a brand from Boots, so they are a cruelty-free brand, I believe. So they have a bunch of products that I don't need in my collection, but I have tried their micellar water, this one here. I really did enjoy it, and it's only $6, so I do like that formula. Not drying whatsoever. I did really enjoy that one. And then I haven't tried much else from the brand, but it looks like a lot of it's on sale. And I would be interested in getting it, but again, I already have skincare products that I need to use up, so I don't need anything else. There's a ton more Real Techniques brushes. I'm just going to skip over all of them. This one here, okay, this is just stupid. That's all there is to it. I mean, unless you need 4 of the same exact brush, okay. But they're 4 of the same exact brush, and the only thing different is the handle, and most likely all of us isn't using 4 different types of color correctors on ourselves. I feel like this would work for those who maybe use it on clients, but I don't see why you need 4 different brushes because most likely you are cleaning your makeup brushes after using them on a client. So if you're thinking, well, maybe if you have multiple clients in a day and you don't want to have to like spot clean your brushes in between them, you don't need it. I'm trying to justify someone buying them. You don't need them, really. So those are all the things that were on the Hot Buys section of Ulta, and for me, I'm really not impressed with a lot of the sales. I mean, some things are good if you don't have any already in your collection, but if you're like me and you already have skincare in your collection, you already have an eyeshadow primer, you already own brushes, you don't need this. Or eyeshadows, like if you have neutral eyeshadows, you don't need giant palettes for them. If you don't have any of those categories, absolutely, there are some really great options here. And again, you do you. If you've always been wanting to try Origins, there is a set there. If you've always wanted to try Real Techniques, a lot of their brushes are on sale. But I also feel like the things that are on sale often go on sale, so I don't think you'd be missing out if you waited this time around. So there's that too. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you all who have subscribed recently. I really have been enjoying reading your comments, so make sure to comment down below. Is there anything in the sale that really speaks to you, or are you like me and you're just going to avoid it altogether? Thank you so much for coming by today. I hope you have a fantastic Sunday, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.